Okay, today's lecture is 10.4, multiplying real numbers, and 10.5, dividing real numbers, and the order of operations. So, 10.4, multiplying real numbers. That means multiplying positives and negatives. It could also be called multiplying integers. Integers are your positives, negatives, and zeros. Zero. Okay, so we're multiplying numbers, positives and negatives. If you did not get one of these, make sure you ask for one later. Okay? On this, we've already done the top where we added and subtracted real numbers. Okay, now we're going to use the bottom of this. We're going to use this part right here. Mostly this part right here. And then we'll move into this. You won't even do this part till probably your next class. This is going to be something else. So right now you're just concerned with this part for multiplying and dividing. If you multiply a positive times a positive, you get a positive, right? You've already been doing that your whole life. Most of your life, not your whole life. Okay, what if you do a negative times a positive? Now we're going to look at this. Negative times a positive is negative. Okay? You're going to do the normal multiplier divide, which is 30, but you're going to put this sign there. So what is 5 times negative 3? Negative 15. What is negative 2 times negative 4? Positive 8. It's just 8. So think about it as if you're multiplying and you have two signs, put those two signs together and make it a positive. Okay? Take that negative and that negative, put them together and make them a positive. When you're multiplying, you're dividing. That's the part that's different in adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing. For multiplying, it's a positive. Remember, for adding and subtracting, you have two negatives, your answer's negative. Okay? That's like adding two bills. But this one, think about it as like negative 1 times a number. Okay? See how it's negative 5? This negative changed the sign of that. Okay? Negative 1 times negative 5. This changed the sign of the negative 5. It made it a positive 5, right? So for multiply and divide, just do your normal multiply or your normal divide and look at the size. So actually for 10.5, that's your division section. 10.5 is dividing. It's the same rule. Dividing real numbers, you still have two negatives makes a positive. Or one negative is negative. So if you have a negative 2 over negative 1, 2 divided by 1 is 2. 2 negatives is a positive. If you have negative 15 divided by 3, what's the sign going to be? Negative and a number? 5. So the multiply divide is actually easier than add and subtract, isn't it? This rule is a lot easier. Okay, let's say you were multiplying a string of numbers. Let's say you multiplied negative 2 times 1 times negative 5 times negative 3 times negative 1. Okay? Your normal multiply, you would just go ahead and multiply them, right? To get the number part. To get the sign, that's more than two things here. So this is where we're going to use this rules right here. If it's an odd amount, it's negative. If it's an even amount of negatives, it's positive. Okay? You're only counting the negatives. You're not counting how many numbers you're multiplying. You're counting how many negatives there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Since it's an even amount, it'll be a positive answer. So now all you have to do is your multiplication. 2 times 5 is 10. Why did I ignore that?
Because it's a positive.
Yeah, 2 times 1 is still 2, right? Times 5 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30. Times 1 is still 30, right? Okay. So let's do 3 times negative 2 times 0 times 17 times 19 times 27. What is that? Come on, somebody, real quick. What?
No.
It'll be 0. If there's a 0 anywhere in there, your answer is 0. That's why I threw in a bunch of hard numbers, because we didn't have to multiply them anyway. You see a 0 in there and it's all multiplied. 0 times anything is 0. Okay? Scared you when I had all those numbers, huh? Okay, what if we have fractions that we're multiplying? Let's do negative 1/2 times 4/5 times negative 15/16 times negative 8/9. Do you want to multiply all the top numbers and then multiply all the bottom? I doubt it. Okay. First of all, let's get our sign. Now, we're going to have a positive or negative answer.
Positive.
1, 2, 3. There's an odd amount of negatives, so it's negative. Okay, count 1, 2, 3. It's negative. Okay, before we do any multiplying, let's see what we can cancel. What can we divide by?
Just going from 5 by 2.
2 and which one? We can do either one. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Okay. 5 and 15 divide by 5. 16 and 8 divide by 8. Keep going.
3 and 9.
3 and 9 divide by 3. Keep going.
2 and 2.
Divide by 2. The top's all 1, so we're definitely done, right? 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1, 1 times 3. That's sure easier than multiplying all that and then reducing it, huh? Yeah. Okay, so if you have fractions, don't freak out. Oh no, I don't want to multiply fractions. Because multiplying fractions is easy. Remember, it was the adding that was harder. Okay. You know what, on your skills maintenance, it has some triangles and stuff that you have to actually read to find it out. I'm going to go ahead and tell you some of the triangles. Okay. One of the triangles is scaling and isosceles and equilateral. Okay? This is according to the sides. Okay? Scaling are all different. There's none of the sides are the same. They're all different. Isosceles. I look at the two S's to remember that two sides are the same. See, two sides are equal. Equilateral. This means equal sides. All three of the sides are equal. Three sides or all sides, however you want to say it. Three sides are equal. That means it's equal all the way around. Okay? So that's one of the things that you need to know. Actually, isosceles, it says two or more sides are the same, but normally if it's got two sides the same, you call it isosceles. If it's three, you call it equilateral. Okay, let's look at angles. Let's say you have a 90-degree angle. You know what that's called? 90 degrees? That's right angle. Okay, a right angle. That's 90 degrees, and you'll see it. It'll have that line on it. Looks like a square boxed in. That's 90 degrees. If you have an angle, see how this is less than 90 degrees? It's acute. I think of it as a little bitty cute one. Okay? How about one that's more than 90 degrees? Obtuse. I think of obese. Fat is bigger than 90, fatter than 90. Okay. And then on, remember in your mean, median, and mode? Mean, median, and mode. The mean is your average. What's the median when you're on the interstate? The middle of the road, right? This is the middle number after they're in order. When they're in order. It's that very middle number. The mode is the one that shows up the most. The rest of those, you can do the rest of the word things. Okay, dividing real numbers. You remember what a reciprocal is? What's the reciprocal of 2/3? 3 over 2. Okay, if there is a negative in the number, you keep the sign. See how this one was still positive? The reciprocal was still positive? The reciprocal is going to keep the sign and you flip it. So now that we have signs, you know that you need to keep that sign. This would be -5 over 1, or you could just say -5. If you multiply a number times its reciprocal, let's see, if we had 2/3 times the reciprocal, what do you get? 1. 6 over 6 is 1. See, if we have a number like -4, what is its reciprocal? Negative
1/4.
Okay, this was over 1. 1 over 4. See, if you multiply it times its reciprocal, negative times negative is positive. 4 over 4 is 1. So see, if you multiply a number times its reciprocal, you get 1. Okay, how about some order of operations? Let's do, oh, you need to know on if there's an exponent. If you have like a 3 squared, that means 3 times 3, right? Is 9. Okay, if you have negative 3 squared, that's different than if you have negative 3 in parentheses squared. The difference is this 2 only goes to the 3. It doesn't go to the negative side. So this answer will be negative, and then 3 times 3 is 9. This one is different because the negative part is squared also. You have negative 3 times negative 3, that gives you a positive 9. Okay? So if you have an exponent, it only goes to what's right straight in front of it. This one goes to the parentheses. So everything in the parentheses is going to be squared. Okay, so let's do some order of operations. Negative 4 squared plus 6. Is the negative part going to be squared? No, just the 4 part. So this would be negative 4 times 4, right? So what is 4 times 4? 16, and you have the negative there. Plus 6, negative 10. If they're different signs, keep the sign of the larger and subtract. Okay. Let's do some that have parentheses in them. Let's do number 79. Is 6 and then a bracket, 9 minus 3 minus 4 in parentheses in a bracket. You go to the inside of the bracket, do the parentheses first in there. This is like parentheses, but you need to do parentheses inside parentheses first, okay? So we leave our 6 and we leave our 9 and our minus sign. 3 minus 4 is what? It's negative 1. What do we do when we have minus negative 1? It's to plus positive, right? Plus a positive. That was something on here. Minus negative is plus positive. Okay? Inside here now, 9 plus 1? 10. 6 is touching, so you're multiplying. 6 times 10? 60. Okay? Still, you're using the same order of operations that you've always used. Just have a couple of extra little rows in there. Okay, let's do, let me see, let's do number 69. That one's not very hard, is it? We'll do it anyway. 69 is 9 divided by negative 3 plus 16 divided by 8. Okay, is there any parentheses? Okay, this is a parentheses, but it's not something you have to do inside there. Are there exponents? No. Multiply and divide, left to right. Yeah, we can actually do both of those as separated. So 9 divided by negative 3, negative 3. Plus 16 divided by 8 is 2. Negative 3 plus 2. Sign the larger and subtract. Negative 1. Let's do a harder one, like number 87. Brand new paper. Okay, 20, parentheses, 8 minus 3 minus 4, parentheses, 10 minus 3, all over 10, parentheses, 2 minus 6, minus 2, parentheses, 5 plus 2. Okay, so first of all, we're going to get rid of all those parentheses, right? So we'll leave the 20, and we'll leave the 4. We're just going to put parentheses where we're going to be doing all of those. Okay, we'll start with 8 minus 3 is 5, right? 10 minus 3, 7. 2 minus 6, negative 4. 5 plus 2, 7. Okay, let me scoot it up. Okay, we've done the parentheses that are there in the exponents. Now, multiply and divide from left to right. Let's do all this multiplying, each one of those. We're not going to do the division until we have one number on top and one number on bottom. Okay? 20 times 5 is 100. 4 times 7, 28. 10 times negative 4, negative 40. Minus 2 times 7, 14. So it's minus 14, right? Okay, 10 minus 28. 72. Negative 40 minus 14. Negative 54. That's like adding a negative and a negative. So you add them, keep the sign and add them. So you got 72 divided by negative 54. That could be reduced, right? What can we divide by? How about 9? If we can divide by 2 and 9, we could probably divide by 18, but that's not going to be too easy. Let's do 9. 72 divided by 9 is 8. 54 divided by 9 is 6. And it's going to be negative because there's only one negative, right? Okay, now we can divide by 2. It's still negative. Divide by 2. 4. Divide by 2. 3. And the book actually left it like this, but we should actually go into mixed numbers, shouldn't we? 1 and 1/3. Right.
Will it be a negative?
Yeah. Keep that negative. Okay. Your skills maintenance has you do least common multiples. You remember how to do those? Least common multiple. Get your prime factorization. Okay, if we had the least common multiple of 15 and 90. And let's do another number. 40, just 40. Okay? 15 is 3 times 5. 90 divided by, don't divide by 9. Divided by 3 is 30. Divided by 3 is 10. Divided by 2 is 5. So you got 2, 3, 3, 5. 40. Divided by 2 is 20. Divided by 2 is 10. Divided by 2 is 5. 2, 2, 2, 5. Your least common multiple? What's the most 2's? There's 3 and 1. The most is 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the most 3's?
2.
2. And the most 5's?
1.
1, 1, 1. Okay, so you got 10 times 4 times 9. 36 times 10 is 360. So your least common multiple would be 360. Okay. Oh, and there's one other thing. I don't see that it's showing up on your homework, but make sure that if you have a fraction that it cannot divide by 0. So make sure that if you have like 6 minus 3 over 4 minus 4, that would be 3 over 0. That would be undefined. Okay? You can have a 0 on top, you cannot have a 0 on bottom. So if you had 4 minus 4 over 6 minus 3, you'd have 0 over 3. That answer, if it's on top, it's okay. That answer would be 0. So if your top number is 0, that's okay. In looking at the homework, you don't have any questions? We do need to cover the graphing before we stop. So no questions on the homework? Nope. Okay. Everybody's been given graphing. People that are absent will have to get one later. Okay. Your x coordinate right here, the x line goes sideways. That works just like a number line. It starts with 0 in the middle and then goes positive going right. So going right, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Let me make it bigger up there where you can see it better. Okay? So starting at 0, then it goes positive. Going backwards is negative. You may need to darken these lines where you can see them better. Okay, going up and down would be like a thermometer. Like above 0 and below 0. 0 is still at the middle, and going up on your y-axis, these are axes. Up on the y would be positive, and down would be negative. Okay? Now when you see a coordinate, like this one right here, 14, 5. The first coordinate is your x, the second one is your y. First go to the 14 on your x, and then go up to where it would be equal with the y. So you're going to have to count over to 14, and then go up to the 5. You'll have to darken your lines before you'll be able to see where to put it. And I have some rulers. Okay? And then you're going to put the second coordinate, 13, 2. You'll go across to the 13, and then go up 2, put a dot. The 12, 0, you'll just go to the 12, and don't go up or down. And what you're going to do is you're going to connect all these dots in order. Okay? Connecting them in order until it gets to where it says line ends. And then you'll start this dot, and then you'll connect it to the next dot. Okay? So I'll let you go ahead and work on those, and I'll walk around and I'll help you. I'll give you some rulers so you can work on them. Turn that off. We're going to start downloading it. Let me get the rulers. Does anybody have rulers already, or does everybody need one? Nobody has one? Francis has one? Okay. Oh, you have one. You have one at home. Do you need one? Yeah. You got one? You need one? Do you need one? Yeah. Okay, let me turn the lights on. So you'll probably want to darken those lines like lightly with the pencil, not real dark, but darken them a little bit with a pencil so you can see better where the lines are.
We could use graph paper.
Yeah, you could just use graph paper. Because this is the only one that actually even has a graph. You're going to have to use graph paper for these anyway.
So we can go ahead and just use the graph paper for this one here?
You can if you want. Instead of drawing the lines, you could use graph paper.
I got the, I got the, did the extra cut in here.
For this, you don't have it with it?
No, I think I got it
You should still write the numbers that these belong to, like the problem, the two numbers. So even when you have that, you should still be writing them, okay?
in here.
It goes with this.
That's a good check in here.
Oh, for that. Okay.
Or the, like 10 points, but then this is a-
This is for the test.
yes,
Let's see.
check
Okay.
review and test.
Yeah, so you need me to grade your portfolio, huh?
Yeah. Yes.
Have a seat.
I guess. Thank you. I don't have much.
You broke your glasses, huh? That was why you weren't here?
Yeah.
Because you couldn't have drove. Okay. Do the graphs in pencil so you can erase it. Lorenzo, do you need a pencil?
No, I got one. I was just.
Because I have some in there too if you need some. Okay, let me see. And the data sheet. Today's the 8th, so we'll do today on that.
It's okay if I put some graph paper. Or do you have some?
You know what, looking on the corner, as you first walk in, on this very first corner of that desk, and it will be a little bit deep. Yeah, right on the corner, yeah, there's a lot of paper stacked. Did you get it updated all the way? I had these other days if you didn't know. All of those? Yeah, okay, wow.
Been 616, so last semester seems like
Second in your
it
glasses.
gets me doing better and it has
We weren't talking about this paper, were you?
There's not any graph paper on that corner?
I didn't see any. I just seen yellow paper in this paper.
Oh, okay, maybe I don't have some, because it should have been that same stack, I think. So, yeah, you can go if you need to.
I have some. Thank you.
Okay, check the grades. So that's good. And then this one right here. This one. And then your test grade. And then had flashcards?
Yeah.
Okay, wait till, did you have these? you're taking them in the market.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a unit 2 test? Your last test, didn't you? Yeah, unit 2. And what you're gonna do so you can't handle it. Oh, yeah. You just didn't finish it on this page. I just did it in here and you just quickly just repeat it. Did you check your answers? 1.2, 1.2. I didn't check the answers.
I usually do,
Yeah.
check this one. So I got a little bit, check.
Go ahead and staple this before you put it in there. Bye, Andrea. Remember to add it. Did you want to Okay. Yeah. And then I need to grade your portfolio too, right? Go ahead and do this part, and then pass those copies and papers later to everybody that sheet, so I'm gonna copy that. Okay, see you later, Dolores. Did I go over? I didn't, okay. I was thinking, boy, that went fast. But it's just, I'm just leaving early.